They started going missing last fall. First, it was a girl from the high school, then 2 seniors from the college downtown. At first, people assumed what people always assume: runaways, bad choices, maybe even suicide. That kind of thing happens in towns like mine. Quiet, slow towns that don't make headlines unless something goes wrong. But then it didn't stop. Every few weeks, someone else vanished. No pattern in gender, race, grades, family background, just age. High school and college kids. People young enough to still be finding their way, and suddenly, gone. The scariest part was how clean it all was. There were no messes, no blood, no broken phones. Just one day they were there, and the next, nothing. One kid went missing during class change. Left his math class, never made it to art. The security cameras showed him walking out into the hall. That's it. He didn't exit the building, didn't head to the bathrooms. He just walked off camera and never showed up again. That kid's name was Tyler Mancuso. 17, played drums in the school band. Not a troublemaker, not someone looking to disappear. His folks lost it, said the school failed him. They're suing now, screaming about locked doors and supervision and negligence. I don't blame them. I heard a rumor that Tyler's shoes were found in the woods, sitting neatly side by side under a pine tree like he had just stepped out of them. No footprints, no trail. The town panicked. Schools doubled security. Hall monitors became guards. Attendance logs were digital now and reported instantly. Teachers had to count heads every period. High schoolers had to sign in and out to use the bathroom. Doors were locked with ID card access. Nobody went anywhere alone. College campuses couldn't lock down the same way. Students are adults, technically. You can't force them into curfews, but campus police tripled patrols. Motion lights were installed across the lawns and walkways. Flyers warned students not to walk alone, especially near the back trails. That's where I used to go. The trails. See, I'm not in school anymore. I work night shifts, stocking shelves, unloading trucks. After work, I usually can't sleep. My brain just buzzes. So I started walking the trails behind the community college. They loop through a small patch of woods and around an old stormwater basin. Nothing special, but peaceful. Or at least it was. 3 weeks ago, I had one of those nights. Couldn't shut my eyes without seeing static behind them. I threw on a hoodie, grabbed my earbuds, and walked the trail just to burn off the electricity in my head. The air was cold, not winter cold, but sharp enough to bite if you stood still. The trees swayed slow and heavy like they were tired. I remember thinking how quiet it was. I passed one street light, then another, and then the trail dipped down into the tree line. That's when I saw it. A doormat, just sitting at the edge of the path, half covered in leaves. It looked old, blue and beige, with "Please remove shoes" stitched in curling letters. I stopped walking. It felt wrong, out of place, like a severed hand on a dinner table. I took out my earbuds, listened. No wind, no traffic hum, not even insects, just empty sound. I looked down the trail and saw another mat. This one was darker, and the words were almost rubbed out. I walked closer. It read, "Clean feet, clean mind." It was damp and heavy, like it had soaked in the forest floor for years, and there was another, further off trail, just past the trees. I followed. Each mat led to another. Some were propped up like signs, others sunken into the mud. Each one had a message. Respect this place. Shut the door behind you. You are now inside. Eventually, the mat stopped, and I was somewhere I didn't recognize. The trees were too tall, not like the ones around town. These had black bark and twisted, narrow branches that reached like fingers. The sky above wasn't the sky I knew. It was darker, not like night, but like dirty glass between me and the stars. In front of me was a clearing, a perfect circle of smooth dirt, as if someone had swept it with a broom. No sticks, no leaves, no life. Just a square of white concrete in the middle, and shapes, dozens of them. At the edge of the clearing, I couldn't see their faces. Hell, I'm not sure they had faces. Just silhouettes. People-shaped things that stood too still, too perfect, like statues made from thick fog. I should have turned and ran, but I didn't. I took a step forward, and the air screamed. Not loud, not at first. It was a hum, almost like a building generator. Then it rose, and it filled my ears, drilling into my head. I dropped to my knees and clutched the sides of my skull, trying to shake it loose. The sound wasn't noise, it was thought, like it was pressing itself into my mind. Images, hallways that ended in mirrors, rooms filled with eyes that blinked in unison, doors with no handles, clocks that ran backward. I opened my eyes and the figures had moved. They were standing in a circle around the concrete slab now, all of them facing in, heads tilted slightly upward like they were listening. The air around them shimmered, like heat waves, or maybe static. I took a step back. They all turned, not smoothly, not like heads moving, more like the image on a TV changing, one frame to the next. I bolted. I didn't care where, just away. Branches clawed at my arms. My legs burned. The woods twisted behind me, refusing to let me leave, but I kept running until the ground turned to gravel, and the gravel turned to pavement. I was behind the college. My car was right there, covered in dew. Like no time had passed. I didn't sleep for 3 nights. The next week, another student went missing. Her name was Elena Lavoie. Her roommate said she left to get something from her car. Never came back. Police traced her phone to the edge of the woods. Same place I'd gone. I checked the trail the next day. No doormats, no clearing, just trees. But there was something new. In front of my apartment door was a rug, clean, tan and red, with sharp black letters. You forgot your shoes. I threw it away. But 2 nights ago there was another, this one darker, wetter. The door is still open. I'm not walking anymore, but sometimes when I close my eyes I feel dirt under my feet. I hear the hum. I see the circle, and I know they're still waiting.